Howdy peeps. You know, I've literally just done another video, but I think I was a bit more myself. And if there's one thing that I do know about myself is when I'm going into one, like when I've got a problem, when I've got an issue, something that I'm unhappy with, if I don't take a step back and think about what the fuck I'm saying, this is why I will listen to my videos before I put them back out. And sometimes it's like, fuck it, I'll do it again. Well, this is fuck it, I'll do it again one. So, last week, end of last week, I was chatting to one of my buddies, right? And I've got a little Christmas present for him, which I wanted to drop off. Now, unfortunately, this is kind of how it went. I couldn't actually remember at the time because my sleep pattern's been a little bit fucked up because reasons. Yeah. And anyway, on Monday I woke up and I thought, shit, I was supposed to go and see him, right? And I was having an hour in, I had other stuff to be doing, and I was just getting on with it. And then it wasn't up until 20 to 11 at night, right? And I feel shit about this. I felt shit about this at the time because it didn't clock until later that evening when I saw him come online, and I'm like, fuck, right? So I sent him a message. Sorry, it's a bit late in the day. Was it today I was meant to come and see you? You know, won't lie, my dates have been fucked up, and I've only just clicked now. That's pretty much exactly what I sent him, right? So lesson number one, what am I doing there, right? What am I doing? Well, I'm apologising to someone because I thought I'd arranged to meet up, and I thought I'd let him down, you know. But I took the necessary steps, even if it was a lot fucking later in the day, right? It's not that I'd been out seeing other friends, it's just literally late night, sleepless night, issues, whatever. And when I finally clicked, I thought, fuck, shit, was it today? And he's messaged me back, right? Basically, yeah, we're talking about tomorrow, but didn't actually firm anything up. So I'm like, fuck, thank fuck for that, right? Now those emotions there that I've just shown, right? For starters, I just want to point out that is self-respect to someone that I have respect for, someone that I have loyalty for, someone that I hold in high regard, right? And even though it took me pretty much all day because I literally just didn't click, sometimes shit happens, right? I get it, right? Sometimes shit happens. And we didn't actually confirm anything in the first place. So I was a bit sort of like, you know, shit, didn't we? Was it today? Fuck, was it tomorrow? And like I say, it wasn't up until he came online later that evening. And I was like, right, anyway. So with that, I've responded, oh, thank fuck, man. I wasn't best impressed with myself when I thought it was earlier when I texted you. Yes, tomorrow's good. Now that should tell most motherfuckers out there watching this video what I'm like, how I'm like. If I've missed something for a fault of my own, well, in this case I hadn't, so I guess it's more luck for me, I guess. Because we hadn't actually confirmed a day. And look, maybe we did, maybe he's being polite, right? This might be a thing. I'm just saying, right? He might be being polite. Maybe we did arrange to meet on that day, right? And he's like, no, we didn't actually confirm anything. Don't worry about it. It's cool. But that still shows a level of respect towards me. You know, that's as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing. And then we went on to arrange again, and it was just sort of like, yeah, just before lunchtime. And then we sort of left it at that. Then the day after that, it's just been one of them weeks, right? You know, he's messaged me again. It's like, oh, are you for it? Such and such. He's not been feeling well. Yada yada, right? And I was like, well, can we play it by ear? Just, you know, because I'm not sure. I've got things I need to be doing. This isn't me playing like trying to be fucking difficult. It's like, no, I've actually got shit that I need to be doing, right? Believe it or not. And yeah, so he's had his issues, so he had to sort of bail out last minute, hence he wanted to rearrange. But again, it shows mutual fucking respect, right? Now this motherfucker I've got time for, and that's a polite way of calling the guy a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it from a derogatory manner. And then I don't need to really carry on with what was said, because it's, you know, we're just talking amongst ourselves sort of thing. And today again, I think I done fucked up. I didn't get to sleep till like this morning. Woke up later than expected, and again, you know, sort of like woke up later than I thought. You know, are you still good? Is it still okay? And he's like, no, we can do it another day if you want. And again, look, much appreciated. But again, it just shows the communication, right? There's communication, there's mutual respect, right? There's definitely a level of loyalty there. Now, I don't ask much from my friends, but these are the things that I do ask, right? One of the things, and this might hit home for someone, maybe you might be you might have been in this scenario. And whereas you sort of make a little bit of a plan, it's like, oh yeah, you know, we're going to meet up and such, or oh, we're going to do such and such. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, no, well, I've got that there, and that's what I want to be doing, and blah blah blah. And then off they fuck, right? They go off out. They got to pop over and do something, drop something off, whatever the fucking case may be, right? Probably is hitting home for one motherfucker right about now. Just saying. And then a few hours pass and you message him again. Oh yeah, no, I'm coming back, blah blah blah. So, oh, okay then, cool. Alright. And then you don't hear from him until the next day. Now that tells me everything I need to know about what that person really thinks of me in that instance. Right? They don't have no respect for me. They ain't got no loyalty to me. They ain't got no respect for me. And then they say, oh, well, you know, there's having a party, blah, 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 a couple of drinks, whatever the fuck, you know, yada, yada. And I'm like, right, okay. Now, in my book of self-love, that's a fucking strike one. Strike motherfucking one. Right? When it comes to dating, you're already out. That's fucking, you ain't getting no fucking second date from me, bitch. You're fucking out. you ain't even on my radar no more, right? You ain't even there. Now with friendships, on the other hand, you know, because I've been speaking a lot about self-love, the people that you surround yourself with, and what you expect, right? And I've said this before. It's not just me, but it's out there, right? It's if you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with, take a look at the 5 people that you hang around with. Now, this is going to hurt a few fucking egos, I'm sure. But I'll just use these little examples as things, alright? So you got one motherfucker that's just promiscuous as fuck, jumping in and out of relationships, including relationships that ain't none of their fucking business. And they've got no personal accountability for that shit. Right? They don't care whose fucking relationship they're fucking with. It's just me. What I want. I want to fuck that person. I want to fuck that person, right? You seriously gonna entertain that? This is what I'm saying. Self-love is difficult. It's hard. It means cutting people out that you might not necessarily want to cut out. But you got to realise that anyone from the outside looking in on that group of individuals that knock about with each other, they're going to be paying a great deal of attention to how these people behave. That's just one example. We'll go for number 2. Individual number 2 in that little group of friends, say they're a pathological liar. They just can't stop lying about anything and everything, right? Well, for starters, if you ain't promiscuous as fuck and disloyal as fuck and have no respect for anyone, including your fucking self, right, which will be the first motherfucker that I was talking about, and then you got this other motherfucker that can't stop fucking lying, and you got someone else looking from the outside in onto that group of friends, it's like, even if you're not them things, they're going to assume that you are, because that's the type of people that you hang about with. That's what they're going to think. They're going to think, right, so you're promiscuous as fuck, you're a lying fuck, right? Then we can go for the other one. This is going to sound like I'm picking on people with things I've said and situations I've been in recently, but I'm literally just using these as examples, like I said in the other video. Then you got this other motherfucker that keeps on putting his hand in the fire and complaining that it's getting fucking burnt every time he does it. And then he's asking people for validation, asking them if he's doing the right thing by sticking his fucking hand in the fire. And it's like, well, what the fuck do you think, man? How many times are you going to stick your hand in the fire before you finally fucking suss out that it's burning your fucking hand and you don't like that feeling? Again, anyone looking from the outside is going to be looking at them bunch of people and be like, you know what the fuck is this shit? So what have we covered? That's 3 out of 5. Well, technically you'd be the 5th person, right? You're the average of the 5 people you hang about with. What can we use as a 4th? I'm sure something's going to come to me in just a minute. So they've got promiscuous fuck, Bernie fuck. Sorry. I try to have a sense of humour while I do this. I just don't think it's that fucking funny. At least not in a comedic sense. Maybe if it was on a TV show and it wasn't real, maybe then it would be funny, but sadly this is a thing. You know, this is what people are like in real life, and it's not that I'm trying to, you know, single anyone out that I know. It's just a repetitive thing out there, and people that don't have enough self-love, self-worth and self-respect will quite happily hang about with these motherfuckers, and they wonder why they can't get away in their life, why they can't better themselves. It's like, well, look who the fuck you're surrounding yourself with, man. You know what, I can't even think of an example for the 4th. I probably had one in the other video. You know. Alright, fuck it, I'll use the other example. The other motherfucker that, you know, keeps on promising that, oh, not necessarily promising, but trying to make arrangements, oh yeah, I'll meet you at such and such, and then that motherfucker never show, and you don't hear from that prick to the next fucking day. You know. And then there's no actual apology, and you're sitting back thinking, I got something to say about this shit. But because you're my friend, I want you to come to me with an apology first. But if they can't even see that they've done wrong, there's no point even trying to wait or ask for an apology, because they can't see themselves as doing any wrong, and they don't have the love and respect, loyalty and dignity that you deserve, that you might have been treated them with. Right? They don't. It's not reciprocal. It's not a reciprocal friendship. And if it's a relationship you're in, then fucking God help you. Actually, God can't help you. You're going to have to help yourself. God can only guide you. I'm just saying. And so then with this, you know, it's when you're surrounding yourself with these bunch of people, even if you're not like them, other people that might be on a higher, because, you know, I'm going to refer to these people as, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, although obviously it's probably going to come across as such, but fuck, it is what it is. They're low vibrational people, right? They got a low vibration. If you got a scale of vibrations, and you know, if you think you're just, and again, this isn't like I'm trying to be narcissistic or something like that, and thinking, oh, I'm better than these people, but realistically speaking, I kind of am. You know, because if you've got someone that, you know, if you say you're going to be somewhere, right, and you're there, or even if you run late but you contact them first, and if this is, you know, dating, by the way, guys, if any of you is doing that dating thing, right, you arrange a date with someone and that motherfucker's 15 minutes late and hasn't fucking contacted you, get the fuck out. So, I mean, send them a message, you know, make sure they're alright, you know, make sure something hasn't happened, but it's down to them to let you know that they're running late because reasons. The only exceptions you can really, you know, that you can go with is, okay, maybe they overslept. Sometimes shit happens. Some of us have alternating shift patterns. But if them motherfuckers have turned around and said to you that they was at a party getting drunk with their buddies and they were meant to be meeting you and shit like that, fuck off. You ain't getting away with that shit, man. That's a fucking strike one. You best be approaching that motherfucker with an apology straight away. Straight the fuck away. You best be turning up with fucking flowers for that fucking mo. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't care which way that dynamic is, whether it's guy, guy, girl, 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 guy, guy. You know, the person that's fucking late best be turning up with a fucking bunch of flowers, box of chocolates for the other person, whatever the case may be, right? And apologise and make sure you fucking mean it. Because if you don't, then you can't expect to be going any further. Now there are, you know, people. I was saying to one of my mates the other night. It's like, you know, when it comes to a desperate man, they'll take anything when they're trying to save themselves. You know, you got a man drowning in water. You pass that fucker a breeze block, he'll fucking grab it and try and fucking float with it, because he's desperate. So there are people that will actually put up with that bullshit for the long term. Because they haven't gone through an actual dark night of the soul. They haven't done the work on themselves to see what their actual fucking value is. They haven't got their own self-respect. And if they do have some self-respect, I'll tell you what, it's on a low vibration for that shit. You know, this is why a lot of the time I have cut people out of my life as the years have progressed. You know, if you're in a situation that no longer, and this is going to sound a bit sort of like selfish and maybe one-sided, but you've got to understand the meaning. You know, if you're in a situation with someone that no longer serves you, and I don't mean serves you as in they're like an assistant or something like that. Like if you've got two individuals, right, and you're not on the same level, right, one isn't respecting the other as much, they don't have as much loyalty or honour or whatever, right, if they don't have that going both ways, right, well then they're no longer serving your purpose for you to better yourself as a person. And the longer you keep that person in your life, the longer it's going to take for you to move on and get out of that situation, and then actually take some time alone to do the introspection, to work on yourself, to become a better person, to put up new boundaries for you of what you are and are not willing to put up with. You know? Now and this is such, you know, such a difficult one, because it's not that I don't have a great deal of self-respect. It's a lot of the time I'm gauging how people are, and a lot of the time I'm here to help other people better themselves. Right? That is my fucking purpose. It took me a long time to figure that shit out, but it's like, you know, the way I look at things, the way situations have panned out. I'm usually within a group of friends for so long, and if I haven't improved one motherfucker out of them lot, whichever group of friends I've had lots of groups of friends over the years, you know, but if I haven't made one of them, or helped one of them, or assisted one of them in becoming a better person for themselves so that they can better themselves, that's what I'm here for, man. And sometimes, look, I'll be honest, with this little razor tongue that I've got of mine, you know, sometimes people will say, my friends will say something and I'll be like, you know, I'll say something fucking razor sharp and it cuts. But it's not, you know what, I will admit, sometimes there's a bit sort of like, I have that moment in the back of my mind sometimes when they say something, I'm like, are you fucking for real, bro? Like, are you being shit? Really? No, you're actually, like, to take the example of the person that sticks her hand in the fire and complains that it gets burnt. It's like you're actually asking me if your fucking hand is going to burn if you stick it in the fire. It's like, you, really? Are you dizzy? You dizzy, blood, right? Do you know what I'm saying? You stupid. This is what I'm more likely to say, is that you fucking stupid, man. Like, honestly, you're slamming your hand in a car door and you're complaining that it hurts. It's like, well, have you thought about not slamming your hand in a car door, sticking your hand in the fire? You know, it's like, really, have you thought about not doing that? Like, really, it's not that fucking obvious. And certainly, I think the bit that really fucking gets me is when they come to me and they want the validation of what they're doing is the right thing to do, and it's like, you know in your heart of hearts that it ain't the fucking right thing to do, so what the fuck makes you think I'm going to agree with that? You might find 5, 10 other motherfuckers that might agree with you just to give you a bit of self-validation and, you know, cheer you on. It's like, well, yeah, whatever the fuck it is you're doing, right? Them motherfuckers don't really have your best interest at heart. They're cheering you on to do something that ain't going to be to your best beneficial in the long run. I mean, sure, it might all be like, oh yeah, shits and giggles at the time, but realistically, let's look at the long-term consequences of what the fuck you're doing, how it's affecting you, and what these people are telling you to do. That they're cheering you on to do it. They're giving you the validation that you need to do something that is technically, probably, definitely bad for you, right? Unhealthy for you in one way, shape, or another. Whether it's personal pain or just bad idea all round, you know. And then what you should be doing is looking at them bunch of people and asking yourself, why the fuck would I want to hang around with a bunch of people that are encouraging me to do something that isn't necessarily in my best interests? But the thing is, people will sit there and just take it. They'll just do it. You got to elevate yourself from them fucking them low vibrations, man. They're low vibrational people. They do not have your best interest at heart. You know, they hate it when they, I've said this in my other video, they hate it when they see you elevate into another level. When you start bettering yourself in your life in one way or another, they fucking hate it, and they will do anything they can to drag you down to keep you on their level, because they're the motherfuckers that can't be bothered to do the work for themselves. That's the truth of the matter. You know? It's like there's one of the guys that I talk to quite regular. You know, it's a bit of a, I won't lie, it is a bit of a fucking awkward situation, but it is what it is, right? Now this guy, he's struggled with reading, you know, usual sort of shit. He's got ADD, ADHD, or whatever, bit of autism and all this, right? And one day he was looking at something on the screen, and that motherfucker started reading that shit out, and I hadn't seen him, like I hadn't heard him read for a little while. And it's like, fuck me, this motherfucker's actually put the fucking time in. And good on you, bro. Carry on. Keep going. Do more. Don't fucking stop just because you can read fucking 6 paragraphs and, you know, you get the gist of where the fucking commas, the apostrophes and all this shit are placed, and you know how to say it and how to pronounce it and you know how to read it. Don't stop just because you've got the gist of it. You fucking keep going, bruv. You know? And that what I'm doing there is exactly what a fucking friend, what a real friend should be fucking doing, is encouraging you to do better for you. Not fucking dragging you down, getting you to do shit that they know fucking ultimately is bad for you, right? Or not beneficial for you in one way or another. Now some people are going to, you know, find this video and I don't know, maybe it will resonate with some, maybe it won't. But this whole dark night of the soul thing, you know, and really accept, you know, and when I say accepting things for what they are, right, I don't mean, oh, you're just accepting that these bunch of people are your friends, right, because whatever your situation might be, right. If they've got all these fucking bad habits, when I say accept it for what it is, what I mean is accept them for who they are, but you don't have to hang around with them, man. You know, and this is probably going to sound quite cold and callous, but at the end of the day, if you need to close the door on them, bro, and you need to do what you need to do so you can elevate yourself to be in a better position for your own beneficial thing, you know, it's that same old thing. You know, how many times have we been in that situation where you got someone that, I suppose this is a Jordan Peterson example, and he's going through a bit of trouble at the moment as well. But is that situation where you got someone that's never got any money because they're reckless with it, right? Maybe they have an alcohol problem, maybe they've got a drug problem, or maybe they're just reckless with money because they're reckless with money. And, you know, they come to you one day and they're like, oh, you know, can you lend me X, Y, Z because, you know, now you've got two choices. You can help them out. You can give them the money. You can give them the money, right? And maybe they will pay you back, and it will be as per arranged, and you won't have any problem with it. But ultimately, it's not going to fucking help them be more financially in control of themselves. It's not going to stop them from having these moments where they just go out batshit crazy, get on the old internet, and start buying a shit ton of stuff that, you know, realistically they don't actually need. Whether, you know, clothes, shoes, handbags, whatever the fuck it might be. You know, you continuously giving them money isn't helping them fix their problem with their spending habit. You're doing the fucking exact opposite. You're just aiding it. You're just giving them more. You know, And the truth be told, in a lot of these situations, you know, even if you was to stop, they'd just go to fucking someone else. And, you know, it's that thing. It's like, and again, if you're in that situation, if you are that person, you need to seriously do the fucking work on yourself. But it's hard work. And a lot of people don't want to do the hard work on themselves because it's easy just to mope about in them low vibrations and be like, oh, the world's against me, and oh, everything is everyone else's fault, and blah blah blah. It's like, no, stop making excuses, bro. You know, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and do something about the fucking problems you've got in your life. You know, if you're a pathological liar, either try and lie less or try and talk less. Because truth be told, if you are a pathological liar, as soon as people pick up on that shit, they're going to stop believing the shit that you say. And it will get to the point where it's like, oh, I don't believe a fucking word you say at this point. Because every time you open your mouth, it's a fucking lie. And then when they call you out on it, you're going to get offended. And you'll probably get all arsey and then come back 10 minutes later and start doing the same fucking shit again because you haven't actually learned. You haven't actually thought, fuck it, I actually need to stop doing that shit. You know? It's the same with these, although I spoke about the codependency things, I'm not going to go too into that now on this video because it's not quite as relatable, but it kind of is at the same time. When you understand people with codependencies, a lot of the time, you know, they do these things as a way to make themselves feel better. Again, feelings comes down to ego, you know, whether you could argue this one with me actually, whether you're buying expensive parts for your fucking vehicle, right, or you're buying yourself a new pair of fucking trainers or something like that, not because you actually need them. You've probably got 50 pairs in the corner, you never wear them. There ain't fucking 50 days in a week, so you ain't wearing them anyway, but you see another pair and you want to buy it just because what? Fuck it, reasons? Because you're spending money, because the transaction gives you that retail therapy. Because you feel better about buying yourself something good, it gives you that personal self-validation. Stop fucking doing it, you're wasting money on shit you don't need. You know, if you've got failed, you know, if you have a tendency to, you know, have failed relationships, take a fucking strong, hard look in the mirror. Look at the way you've been treating people in your life as to why you are now sat in a fucking low pit of depression. And, you know, you got to seriously ask yourself, did you fucking put yourself there? Did what happened to you, was that a direct result of the choices you were making and the actions you were taking? You know, it's that thing, right? How many times have we seen it? You got someone in a relationship, one of them cheats. The other person might be in a relationship and they might be cheating, or maybe they're not, right? Maybe they're not. Maybe they're single as well, right? And then that say it's a family unit or that couple, whatever the case may be, that unit breaks down. Now, okay, in one aspect, maybe you can look at it, it's like, well, the other person was, you know, non-trustworthy, non-loyal, you know, they're obviously deceitful, they got no problem screwing the other person over. And you can't really use manipulation as a thing. Oh, they manipulated me to do this bullshit. You fucking people will only treat you the way you let them fucking treat you, right? And if someone ain't treating you fucking right and you're still going back for more, that's not their fault, that's yours. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's how it rolls, man. That's how it rolls. But like I say, a lot of the time people just do not want to put the fucking work in themselves because it means hard work. It means doing a bit of self-reflection, taking a bit of fucking accountability for the bullshit that they've been pulling over the years. And they've become such a fucking routine. And the longer you do this shit for, the harder it is, the longer it takes. Unless you do actually have an ego death, in which case, fuck me, will your world come crashing down damn quick. And that's when you find yourself whimpering curled up in a fucking fetal position, bawling your fucking eyes out, crying to the Lord to come help you. But the Lord ain't going to come and help you. You can only help yourself. And if you're fortunate enough to have a good bunch of friends that will help you pull through that shit, all the better. But if you're surrounded by yourself by these fucking dickheads that don't really give a real shit about you, because amongst the collective there's no real honour, there's no real fucking respect, there's no loyalty. They ain't going to come and help you, they'll come and feel sorry for you and they'll feed you a fucking shit ton of stuff that ain't going to do you no fucking favours in the long run and get you back up to where you were, but they're not going to let you go any further. because the chances are they're not willing to do the work themselves. And that's where we're at. Anyway, thoughts, comments and opinions, feel free to jot them down. To the next one, stay cool, stay free. I hope you've enjoyed, even if you haven't. Peace out.